Your thoughts about the upcoming season?
Well, I'm probably more excited than any coach in America to get the season started. Looking forward to August 4th, our first practice day. I will tell you, I've been around our players for a while now. I still am trying to learn all the names. I know most of the kids' first names by now. They know me as coach, so it's been a little easier job for them. But I've been very impressed with our players. We've got a great group of kids. I've been impressed with our coaching staff and the way they've handled themselves in this adversity. They've been on vacation for a while, and wanted to keep their vacation schedules sort of the same that Art had, and so they've had some time with their families, and I think they're back and ready to go, so we'll be spending some more time together. But I've been very impressed with our players and with our coaching staff. I know the challenge is great. We play a lot of good football teams going forward. We've got to want people to understand that we've got a great group of kids at Baylor University, and I think Baylor going forward is better than we've ever been. So I'm proud to be at Baylor and can't wait to get started on the season.
Okay, we'll take questions for Coach. We're going to start in the rear on the middle. And if you guys would please give your name and affiliation, please.
Hey, Coach. Nate Payne, game day, you at the University of Oklahoma right here. What can we expect that will be different from Jim Grobe's Baylor football team as opposed to our Browns football team?
Well, I really have been so impressed with what Art and the football program's accomplished over the last few years. And, you know, I'm an old West Virginia hillbilly, and we got that feeling if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So from strictly a football perspective, I think we want to continue to play fast and furious on offense. We want to keep those same principles that Art had. Defensively, I think Phil Bennett, our defensive coordinator, is as good as there is in the country. It's a challenge at Baylor because the defenses had to typically play a few more snaps than most people. They get more series out on the field. But I think, I think Phil's doing a great job kind of combining four-man and three-man fronts. We're a little thin in the defensive line, so we may have to play some more three-man front stuff. I think, I've always been a guy who stressed special teams, so that's something that in talking to the coaches, I think we might be able to improve on a little bit. And I think, the thing that we want to do is we want to continue to play hard. I'll know more once we get into practice. I think there's some things, I like what we've done offensively and defensively in the past. I think as we get into practice, it'll give me a better beat on what we might need to improve. But I've been a head coach now for 20 years, going on 40 years of coaching, and so I've seen a lot of things. And so I'm not here to make a lot of changes. I thought that was really important, especially for our players, to have the same terminology, the same schemes, those type things, as much as possible. But hopefully, as we go forward, if I do see things that I think might help us be a little bit better, we would put maybe a little different spin on a few things. But I'm not here to change a whole lot.
All the way in the rear, and then we're going to come around to this side.
Myron Patton, Fox 25, Oklahoma City. So I've been a turbulent several months for the program there. How do you keep your players from having a woe is me attitude? Football's something you gotta want to do. How do you keep the spirits up and keep them working and I guess be excited about the upcoming season?
Well, it absolutely it was a challenge, and there was no roadmap to this. When I got in and first met with the team, I think they were somewhat skeptical of a lot of things. They were certainly heartbroken that they lost Art. I know the staff was in shock, and so it's been a journey. To be honest, I think we've gotten to the point now where the players are trusting me. I think they understand that I'm here to help. I'm not here to change things. Some coaches come in and they try to run off the old guys' players and bring in their fresh recruiting classes. I'm not here to do that. A lot of coaches come in, and this is probably a little bit unprecedented. I don't know how many head coaches have taken over a program and kept all of the assistant coaches, but I felt like that was important for our players, with our players' welfare first and foremost. So we're to a point now where the players have had time to digest everything. I've spent enough time with them. I think now that they understand I'm fully here to help them. And I think our coaches understand the same thing. I've never been a head coach that's lost the perspective of being an assistant coach. I've always wanted to be an assistant coach. To this very day, I would like to make all the decisions that head coaches make and coach the linebackers and have nobody know I'm the head coach. So I've always had an assistant coach mentality, so I want to support our coaches as much as I possibly can. And I felt like in keeping the coaching staff together, there's nothing that would be more settling to the players than to have their coach in that meeting room every day. So I feel like we're on track. I think the kids are pumped up. The coaches are getting back in from vacation now, and so I think everybody's on point to start playing some football.
We got a question on the left side, Coach. About halfway back.
Coach, with all the talk that's been surrounding the program, it's all been non-football recently, and all the success that Art had on the field and in the standings, how daunting is this task for you to come in and try to continue that while also changing the culture off the field?
Well, there's no question that this is a daunting task, and as I mentioned before, there's no real roadmap for this. I do think that, for me personally, I admire what Art's football teams have been able to accomplish on the field. I really don't want to change that. I'm hopeful that we can continue to be very competitive every time out. We talk so much about changing the culture. That's not the deal with these players at Baylor. And I think most people understand this. The majority of our kids are great kids. I mean, great kids. And it's a shame when a few guys can really hurt a large group of people in such a devastating way, really. And so from our standpoint, what I want to do is let people know that the majority of our kids are fantastic kids. And their programs, the problems that we're dealing with at Baylor or have dealt with at Baylor to this point are problems that are probably at every university in the country. I hate to say every one, but I would guess that most universities are having some of the same issues that we've had at Baylor. And you can, make a call as to whether you think Baylor was too strong in the way they dealt with it. Unbelievably, I've had people tell me they don't think they dealt with it strongly enough. But I think going forward, do we want to learn from our past mistakes? We absolutely want to learn from our past mistakes, and we're doing that. Baylor University right now is better than ever because we've confronted some problems and made some changes in the way we deal with problems going forward. And I'm talking about serious problems. I'm not talking about missing class and being late to weights and those type things. But I think the things that we put in place at Baylor right now, and it's an ongoing process, are going to help us be better going forward. So from my standpoint, I want to put my arms around the good kids that we've got and love them up. And I've been able to do that, I think. Now, once we start football practice, I might have to kick them in the seat of the pants once in a while. But my whole attitude has been that, and everybody knows this, that the majority of the kids that we've got in our program are fantastic kids. And we need to continue to stress that. We've had some misbehavior on some kids' parts, and it's been hurtful to so many people. But I think going forward, the message that I would like for people to get is that, Baylor University, we've got a wonderful school. We've got a great compass of where we want to go right now. We're on track to be better than we've ever been, and we really have an outstanding group of young men.
All the way in the rear, put your hand up on the left.